Hey everybody, I'm back. I am back. It's kind of weird, huh? I'm back. I'm back. Choosing to be guided. Going live when I'm guided. How y'all doing on this Friday night? How is everybody? I'm in my PJs. Let's see what's the word? Earlier, I was a little hyped. So all just excited and hyped and all that great stuff. And right now, I'm hyped in a different way, like bedtime hyped. I'm bedtime hyped. Yep. And we're gonna wait and see what the message is. There's so much. There's so much going on. I just want to let everybody know that I'm sending you prayers, visioning, healing, and peace down from the depths of your soul. Visioning that you will choose to be guided. Visioning that you will step into it. Yes, 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 yes. So, you guys want to hang out with me? You're more than welcome to do that on this Friday night for as long as I'm here. I might not be before you long. I might be real quick, and I might be a little longer. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're showing up. I love every last one of you. Thank you to all of my subscribers, my new subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for following how you were guided to come here. Because not everybody chooses to be guided. And listen, I don't like to bring the fluff, the extra stuff that's not going to inspire you and guide you. That's not why I'm here. Is that hello, hi guys, how are you? Everybody has their PJs on like me. Yeah, how are you? Hello everybody. I love every last one of you. You are so awesome and great. You're awesome and great. You know, I was on earlier live. Of course, YouTube is taking 20 years to pull the whole video together. But as I'm choosing to be guided, I'm just relaxing right now. And whatever comes through, comes through. If you have a question, you can ask me. I would love to answer a question if you have one. Hello. Yeah. You know, and I think this is so important because we've been on this, we've been in this space of neutral. Over here at ICBG, the ICBG gang, those who are choosing to be guided, which means you're choosing the way of peace for your life, which means you're choosing to you're choosing to be at peace in the midst of the turmoil that is going on. Oh wow, are we going there? Oh wow. So listen, wow. So I guess, not I guess, the Spirit wants us, the Spirit is going where I didn't know we were going to go for sure. But listen, there's a whole lot going on. There are some real things going on with our government, I understand, and I know it sounds foreign. I say, where are you, in a cookie jar or something? That I don't watch the news. I don't. And I am a firm believer that if it's something that I need to know, it's going to find me. It's going to come to me, and it always does. And especially because I choose to be guided and I choose to stay in the lane that I am chosen to be in, and allowing for things around me to be how they're supposed to be, however they're supposed to be. So listen, there are a lot of people who are suffering, and a lot of people are suffering as a result of a direct impact that these choices that are being made in our government, how those choices are personal to you. If you have a child that is special needs, or you are on public assistance and you're being attacked, you're on Medicare, things of this nature. First of all, I am visioning peace for you as we go through this experience. I am visioning peace that passeth all understanding for you. I am sending you love and joy. I am also sending you courage and strength. Courage to be still in the midst of the turmoil. For you to find courage to trust. I shared at the end of the live earlier, I shared one of my stories. I've had many stories in this journey of intentionally choosing to be guided. Okay, so you guys could not hear. Can you see me? Let's see something. Because this thing is... Do you know how they made that government? Okay. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hi. Thank you so much, baby. Thank you. Listen, it is so important, and please let me know if you can't see me or something, because these lives come out weird, because this message, I didn't know we were going here. I never know where we're going. Actually, I press live when I'm guided. So here's the deal. I shared my story at the end of that live, one of them, of how I felt when I was getting ready to lose everything, and there was absolutely nothing that I could do. There was nothing that I could do in that moment as my world was crumbling around me. And it brought me to my knees in the center of my closet eventually, but the first time I found myself on the other side of my great room in a tarrying position, crying, because I had 2 children who was living a blissful life and had no idea that the world around them was getting ready to completely be uprooted, and we were going to lose everything. So I understand. And in that moment, I had nothing else to do but to be guided. I believe I chose to be guided because there was absolutely nothing else to do. I couldn't do anything else. My hands were tied. My resources were tied, completely annihilated. It was gone. It was done. So I understand where you are. I can truly relate. But I want you to understand, because Divine brought me on this live because somebody is up right now in turmoil. Inside, you are so conflicted. You're actually questioning God. You're questioning guidance that you have been given in past, because now it's not making sense because of where you are right now. So you're wondering, was this true? Did you hear God? Did God tell you or guide you to do this or that? Was your spirit team there? Were your angels there? And I want you to know, yes. I want you to know that, yes, you heard it right. You were guided and you followed correctly. Question is, God, what am I to experience in this moment now? Everybody needs to ask that. What am I to experience in this moment now? Why am I here? Then we can talk about the collective. Why am I here? And you're going to be guided. And you may go to some places that you may feel like, I don't know if I should go here. You may wonder, how am I being guided by the divine source energy? What is guiding me? This is why it is so important. Thank you, Holy Spirit. It's so important for you to follow how you're guided, but to meditate day in and day out. You need to meditate day in and day out. That is where you're going to find your confidence. That's where you're going to find your courage. Because then you know that if I stay in the vortex, if I choose to commune, and I mean, listen, I asked somebody not too long ago, how do you meditate? How do you, particularly yourself, how do you meditate? And they said, they sit down, they read the Bible, and they talk to God. And I said, no. The type of meditation, transcendental meditation is a term for it. In addition to that, it is just the guided meditation. You are to be quiet. Be quiet. Be still. And still your mind. Still the activity in your mind. That's transcendental. And some of you may find it very, very difficult to do that, because when you are having to still, because the thoughts are coming, the circumstances are hitting you in the face, boom, boom, this circus, you can't even sit down and be still because you are so anxious. You are feeling anxious. You are full of fear and anxiety. You want me to be quiet? I can't be quiet. You're about to turn my lights off. I can't be quiet. It's about to be cold and I don't have any heat. I can't be quiet. I hear you. Been there. But I want you to choose to be quiet. I need you to choose to be quiet. I need you to breathe. I need you to take a deep breath. Alexa, stop. I need you to take a deep breath and breathe. Breathe. I want you to imagine that that the divine is all around you in your fingertips. Put your hands out in front of you. And I want you to imagine the energy of the divine source energy, God, to come right through you. And it like a whirlwind wrapping around you, in and out, all around you. I want you to inhale that profound energy of God. And then I want you to like you're pushing in the energy of God. And as you're pushing out, that anxiety is being pushed out and is going out, right out of you, to the ground and to the pits of the earth. I want you to just do that before you start. Do that 3 times. Check out my playlist of meditation. Check out the one that I have for Boho Beautiful Meditations. I picked out some specific ones. And you're going to breathe. And you may say, that's not going to pay my bills. I get it. I hear you. But what it's going to do is activate peace and give you stillness. And guess what it's going to do? It's going to cause activation of whatever needs to be caused or activated in your life is what it's going to do. That's what it's going to do, baby. Trust me, I've been there. You may be called to lose something. And it's not a punishment. Because you are being called to a higher place. And you're being called to go beyond. And in the process of your beyondness, you need to allow for the flow to take place. For some of you, it's the flow you've been resisting, consciously resisting. Because you know where it's taking you. You don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. But baby, you will not find peace any other place. You're not going to find true love in any other place. You're not going to find it. Your soul, happy life. In wherever you are, in whatever position you've been called for. And if you don't follow the map quest that your soul came with, the directive that your soul came with, then you will not find peace. It's actually utterly impossible. Anything else outside of it is a mirage. Once you become self-empowered, the mirage of love will fade and the reality of love will become your only tolerance. Self-empowered, the true authentic you. Being connected, becoming connected with your soul, by way, is an energy just like you. Yeah. And you're carrying it. Yeah. It's not a fiction thing. It's not, that's what it is. So. And it is the main character. And you are not going to find peace without that alignment. So, to understand and to be more confident and be able to trust how you're being guided, you are being called, summoned to the chambers with the divine source energy. God wants to have time with you. And without you running your mouth, so that you can listen, so that you can hear and allow for the flow to take place. That's what's happening, baby. So you resisting it's like going on a race and you were going the wrong way and you were running real fast. And then you get there and you run into a brick wall. I'm just saying, what happens? I mean, finish that. Can you imagine that? Especially for the ones who have been doing that. Running real fast. Opposite of how you have been guided. listening to the audience around you, listening to everyone around you tell you what you're not supposed to do and what you are not being guided to do, because that don't make no sense. The ways of the Spirit seem foolish to man. Absolutely. The ways of the Spirit seem foolish to man. And there is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof is what? Destruction. That's what it was talking about. There is a way that seems right unto a man, but the end thereof is destruction. When you are not choosing to be guided, and you can do whatever you want. It's your choice. It literally is. You can create anything you want. You can create it all. You can go through all of the meditations and the abundance meditations, which happens to be relative. Abundance is relative. Remember that. It's relative to the soul's mission. Everything else is a mirage. You'll find yourself running into a brick wall, getting someplace, and you're not satisfied, if you're honest, deep in your soul. You're caught up in the idea of the appearances and what people think about you. At the end of the day, you don't even know who you are. At the end of the day, you realize that you've run this rat race, and then you say to yourself, I would look like a fool if I even dare turn around now. So, for the sacrifice of your soul, you stay. So that you can look good. So that you can be the hero on the scene around people who also are lost. So you get into this rat race of following the lost pack. Everybody's lost, and you are like, I got this, I got that, and this is what we have. But guess what? You know what freedom is? Freedom is when you have freed your soul. When your soul is free. I remember doing a show. I'm going to have to post that. Okay, we got to post that. I did a radio show once. I'd rather be homeless than for my soul to live in an abandoned body. Because you won't listen. Lights off. Forget the electricity in your home. But on the inside, the lights are off. There's no gas. I shared earlier about my story about not knowing, not having anything. I was standing in the great room of the home I had built and thought I would be there for some time. Although I did know it wasn't going to be a long time. I just didn't know it was that. And then you find out. But anyhow, I gave the testimony of how I was blessed. Miraculous story. Towards the end, I think it's in the second hour for sure, I believe, when I shared that part of the story. So you may want to check it out, but I didn't know where I was going to go. And the divine had it completely orchestrated. When you're in the guidance, even when you fall, it's such a cushion. Sometimes I say, God, I had you looking real bad. People say, that person is not going through this, that, and the third. Look at them. Because you are carried through. Yes, there are towers that you will experience. Because at the same time, you are evolving. So you're going through, you're looking at yourself in the mirror. Some of you are going through towers in your life. You are experiencing what it is to become balanced. To become balanced. Some of you may be too much love and light, and you not balanced. So you are then brought to a place where you can become grounded and be able to understand that there is a balance. There is the yin and the yang in every scenario. Even God. There is balance. So you've been called and you're scared. But it's different kind of scared. And I'm not making light of it. You're scared about what people are going to say. About how you have to walk away. Some of you may be scared about your children. You're scared about the news. The news is saying all of this, and things are really, really happening in your life. So you have nothing to do. Some people have families and others don't. Some people are called away from the family. The message could go much deeper, but we're not going to do that tonight. Because I was summoned to talk to you because you're scared. And we want you to have peace that passes all understanding. We want you to get on track so that you can get into the flow and be able to embrace the ride. And your first start, your first directive is to meditate. That is your space of center. That's how you're going to center yourself. And God is going, you have a profound and amazing spirit team. The angelic realm is all there. God has resources, not just on this side, baby. But you are very protected. Don't worry, your children are protected too. Your children, our children, when they said that they would be older and wiser, that's because the souls are older and wiser. When they come, they are very knowing. They know. A lot of them are very old souls. Some of them are wondering, when are you going to get it so that they can get into the flow, because they see what you don't. And they could be little babies. Literally. I've got some grandchildren like that. Blow your mind. I'll ask you, if you were in a civil war and there was shooting and guns and things going on the outside of your home, near the premises of your child's window pane, would you act as if it wasn't a civil war taking place outside your home? Or would you equip them to be able to protect themselves in the event mommy or daddy wasn't around? Don't dumb the situation down. Don't use the scenario of, I got to do this for my kids. God's calling you to do this, that, and the third, and you think it doesn't make sense because I got my children. And you have no idea. You need to not do that. They have a soul's mission, and you do too. You were already put in place. They were guided to you. Your children were guided to you. Their souls chose you for a reason. It knows everything that it's going to do. I don't know if you guys, I don't know why I didn't put them on my playlist. I'll put that on there. I can't remember the name. It starts with a C. Anyways, I love the story of her and her husband, where they were guided to leave their corporate positions, leave the cars and everything, and they started walking. I'm like, whoa. And they just took the direction that God said, and they just started walking. Okay. And they walked for some time and they went into the mountains and different with their child. You understand me? Can you imagine how amazing that child is going to be? See, the children we're preparing, because of the way we've been taught, we've been so suppressed as the humankind, as a collective. We've been so suppressed and so sedated, indoctrinated. They took the shackles off our feet and they put the chains on our mind. We are afraid of jumping off that cliff, taking the leap of faith like the fool. Ways of the spirit seem foolish to man. You scared. I don't care what's going on in the government. If you stay focused, God will make a way out of no way. You wonder what in the world hell happened. You will be protected. Like I said, I was protected. I was asked and directed to do something that was completely uncommon. And it had been in the works years before. I had no idea. And when I gave my story, one of the stories earlier, as I was guided to do what God told me to do and told me to call this particular person that I was not cool with. I mean, we weren't friends like that. Why do you want me to call this guy? Like this was a client. But I met that client because right now my children call him uncle. It's a friend of mine now. But I follow what God said. And God made a way out of no way. That was back in 2009. I was given I was told, don't worry about it. God told me to go to have a meeting with them. I did that. And then I was told, you can stay in the house. Don't worry about it. Come pick the keys up Wednesday. Just like that, it was done. You don't know what the path is. But one thing for sure, you will find peace when you're guided. Because then you know that you are protected. You know that you are where you are supposed to be in this game called life. And news flash for the whole world. In this era, we are pretty much the cleanup crew. We've got to redefine things, and tables got to be turned upside down, and somebody's got to break up the fallow ground from what we have been used to. Somebody has to do it. Somebody's got to be the big bad wolf too. The one that's called to break it up. The one everybody going to be mad at. Like, what are you doing? This is not how we do this. But nothing else would get the attention. I remember being on that floor in my closet, crying. What are we doing? What brought me to my knees was there was nothing else I could do. There was nothing humanly possible that I could do. It would take only the divine. Peace will become the new abundance. And it is already. That is what people are seeking, but even more so as a collective. That's that cha-ching. Cha-ching. Can I get peace, please? Can I get 5 on that? Can I get some peace? Peace. Peace. Oh. peace. Whatever the Lord say, peace. Peace in my heart. I wasn't ready for that. I'm going to have to come back later and do that again. Yes. Been there. I stood at the top of my winding staircase last year. In a situation that was already, I had become behind. I had chosen to do what God said and say, let it go. Something that was already gone. But then I couldn't even hold on to the little things, the wonderful things that I had. I couldn't follow how I would normally do business. God said, get out and don't look back. The peace that came over me when I drove out of my garage, I can't even tell you how much peace I had. I can't tell you. I've been smiling ever since. I mean, I went through some things now. But it wasn't by the hand of me following God. It was other things. That sometimes it was the war. It was the spiritual battleground. It was by people. I went through that. But one thing that kept me together was that I knew I was doing how I was guided. So there was peace in that. There was so much peace in that. God was the one who gave me courage. Remember who you are. Get up right now. Go over there. God was the one moving me around. And you are going to need that. You are going to need your spirit team. And if you're listening to this and you've been guided to here, then you know that there is the angelic realm. There's the spirit team. There's your ancestors. There's your spirit guides. Oh, everybody. Because you don't die. The only death in this game is the ego. You don't die. You literally switch sides. And unless you follow how you're guided, that death experience can be very difficult for you. In some cases, death is going to be how death is going to be, and it may be difficult because of the karma that it has been dealt in your life or your bloodline. And your soul came here specifically to balance a scale. There's so much to it. But as a collective, the human race, tables are being flipped intentionally. And the protection is in the guidance. The peace is in the guidance. The joy is in the guidance. And what is joy? Joy is something that you don't get from the external. It is not based on a title, things. It's not based on that. Joy is something on the inside. That is something that money can't buy. That is something that a degree can't buy. Joy. Someone said something to me the other day, and he said, "Well, I don't want you to lose your flame. You can't affect my joy." What you mean? You can't do that. That's the real. Spirit say you're being called to find your truth. You're being called to be authentic, to be your true self. Stop looking for news that's going to pick up your ratings. Stop looking for some gossip that you can carry on and make and get some hits online. You're creating karma. Just because it's on the big screen doesn't mean that, and just because it's on the big screen and it's some real shit, doesn't mean that you get a pass on the karma that you're creating in the world that you're in right now. Yeah, I mean, the journey is a hell of a anyways without you doing that. The journey is a mother sucker without you creating karma for yourself, talking about people, gossiping about people. It's already tough. Don't make it worse. It's a difference when you are going through something because it is an aspect of your journey. It was something that you had to go through, as you would in any battle. There's going to be some things that you're going to go through. So it's one thing to have to go through something because it was a part of the battle. It didn't come with you versus you going through something because you have contributed and made more karma for yourself. You've made karma for yourself. You done all kind of stuff. And you don't know who you talking about, who you got your mouth on. It doesn't, just because you have an audience to share it with, just doesn't mean anything. I was talking to somebody, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, they were talking about somebody, and I asked them, so did you have that experience or did somebody else have that experience? Do you know of them being that way? Or did they say that? And they said, well, actually, everybody said it. So this is what most people do. Just because everybody said it doesn't make it true. Just because everybody said it doesn't make it true. Just because you have an audience doesn't mean that everybody is speaking the truth. That doesn't make it valid. In fact, I started really I'm fighting for the underdog. I want to help that person who they talking about. Let me go talk to them. What's the story? What's really going on? Right? We have enough going on and we want to stop this cycle of self-sabotage and us going through these issues, the cycle that humankind has been going through, where we're creating karma and there's all this ruckus that we've caused, and which is why tables have to be flipped over now. It has to be flipped over because we have to start over. We have to create a new world, a new earth. There is a new era, a new sheriff in town. That is up to us. And there are leaders in place. There are leaders in place right now. And it's happening whether we like it or not. But it is important that as we are exiting this room, that we work on us minimizing the karmic cycles in our life. There are some things in order to balance the scale that there are people that are put in certain positions right now to break generational curses, to settle agreements that you had before you ever even came into this physical realm again, or for the first time even. We have to really, we're waking up. Tables are being turned so we can wake up. so that we can wake up. I'm sending peace to you. Know that you're going to be protected. The protection is in the guidance. You need to meditate day in and day out. That's the name of the game. So that you can have confidence and peace. Okay? I know it was going to be here long. When, what's this? When YouTube finish uploading my other video, I'm so tired, guys. But I was guided to come here. So here it is. Here it is. I have a question. Oh, I apologize. The person, I'm doing bustastic. Bust, Mr. B. Does bus driver fancy me? Or just when we... Thank you. Dr. Jonathan. Thank you very much. He told me to lie. He probably meant to say, leave this channel. I have a question. Mr. B, if you're there, you can ask the question. Ask the question and be nice. And you're probably gone because it's a long time ago. Okay. Oh. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to go. Know that you are protected. Know that you are going, you are good. Get in alignment. Step into that vortex. That's what you do. Step into the vortex with your meditation. Let me see what I got. Look at that. Oh. Ace of Pentacles. And what were we talking about? Yep. Abundance, manifestation, opportunity, new career or financial opportunity, new venture, and prosperity. That be you, baby. That be you. And you. All right. If you have a question, you can ask. If not, I'm going to turn it in. I have my PJs on. Oh. I'm so glad we had this time together. And I hope that we can sing along. For me and you for me forever. Good night. Good night. Good night, John Boy. Good night. That's for somebody. You all. Don't focus on the problem. Yes, they do one hand. Don't focus on the news. Don't focus on the news. It's not for you. That's not, you're not going to find peace in that. We're going to do one hand. Let's just see. I think this is a little message. We need a word from you. You're going to get a word really quick. We've already had a word. Now this is like, we're going to play a game real quick and we're going to see what happens. Let's see what comes out. some confirmations. Oh, okay. Some confirmations. How y'all doing? We need a word from you. We need a word from you. Oh, man. Oh. Know that you are so protected. You are so protected. Mm-hmm. And your children are gonna be all right. See, we need to establish a new foundation in terms of understanding for our children to not themselves think that a pair of Air Jordans defines them, or the group that does. I remember us going, my organization, Bountiful Opportunities Group, going to a school. We were told there were going to be about 200 students that would be in an auditorium, which was actually pretty. It's a pretty small number for us, but we were told it was going to be about 200 students that we would be doing the transformation assembly for. But when we get there, this is 40 students. And the lady said to me, I said, "What happened to all the students?" And she said, "Oh, these are our honor students. The other ones were not allowed to come." Huh? We're talking about transformation, and you just booted out the school because they didn't have A's and B's? Those are ones that really needed to be here. Right? Separation, division. See, all of that we're going to redefine, because see, that's not the way of our new era. That's not, 3 cards, that's it. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying that's what Spirit said 3. Is let's be clear. I'm just saying. It said 3. Okay. Top and 1 in the middle. I love it when that happens. I love it when you call me Big Pop. Put your hands in the air. I love it when you call me Big Pop. I love it when you call me Big Pop. All right, let's see. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, what is that? And there it is. I love it when you call me Big Pop. All right. The star. You don't have to be a star, baby, to be in my show. You don't have to be a star, baby, to be in my world. Something like that. Is that what they say? But you know what? That was coming to me a lot at one point. You don't have to be a star, baby. And I was saying, well, why does that keep coming to me? Because you are who you think you are. And whoever this song is for, that keeps ringing in my ear for, is because you don't think you're a star, even though you are. But Divine is saying you don't have to be a star to be in my world. The star, as we've defined it, you don't have to be some so-called big shot, the way we've defined it, to get in this game, to be who you are. You don't have to be a star, baby. All right. Unbiased judgment, independent, clear boundaries. So you're moving forward with clear boundaries. You're not sacrificing your peace. You're not. You're taking inspired action. Free-spirited, authenticity. All right. And there it is.